Hey, this is Brian again, and I'd like to ask you to do a favor. We can't do this work without people like you, so if you can, please like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends about Bring Back the Porch.
Pretend I don't know what ABS is, because I don't. What is ABS?
It's basically a safety system that was implemented into trucks. It's when it applies and releases your brakes so that your tires don't skid.
This episode of Bring Back the Porch brought to you by Bernie Leahy, River Street Realty. Let's get you home.
Hello and welcome to Bring Back the Porch, a very special edition. We are at Medicine Hat College, and we are in one of the very different places that people don't really get a chance to see very much. This is the heavy equipment lab at the college, and I'm pleased to be joined by a few fellow skilled people. We have Coulter Kallenberger, Brady Merrick, and instructor Kian Clift, who are joining us. Welcome.
Hi, how are you today?
Good. Kian, I want to start with you. You probably have the most level of experience. Could you kind of explain where we are and what this place is?
Yeah, we're in the heavy equipment lab. The lab's been here for 17 years. We've offered the heavy equipment program for. And throughout those years, we've managed to build it up to, we have all 4 years that we teach out of this building, and we teach multiple years in most of the years of curriculum. So we might teach like 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2/3, 2/4 throughout that. So we fit quite a few classes into the year in here. And yeah, we graduate typically 2 classes a year. So that's 24 journey persons that we'd put into industry each year typically.
So, Coulter, I want to start with you. You are a third-year apprentice, is that right? And where do you work out of when you're not at school?
I work at Acon out in Redcliffe there.
Okay. And what does it mean to you to be able to come back into school? I'm assuming as a third year, you're at a point where it's up to you if you want to continue your education.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know, that's kind of something you decide after first year, I think. But
and what made you decide that you would go back to school and continue?
it's just what I like to do. There's nothing really that I find interest in other than that, work-wise, so I just decided to go with it.
Does it give you the chance to do more things in your job because you have a higher education?
Yeah, I mean, the education helps, but the guys at work also help. They put a lot of trust in me and allow me to do things that other apprentices might not, so it definitely helps me with my knowledge and all that.
Brady, you are a journeyman, and did you do all your schooling here at the college?
Yep.
Yeah. So how long did that take you to do? Were you like in industry for a while and come back, or were you pretty adamant about going?
You do 10 months in what we call the field, and then you do 2 months in school.
So did it take you 4 years to complete everything?
4 years,
Yeah. How hard was it to come back to school and get out of the field and maybe not have that paycheck and stuff?
It's hard, but it's going to benefit you in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you go from being in steel-toed boots for 10 hours a day to having to sit in a chair, so I don't know, it's a little hard, but it's all worth it in the long run.
Kian, what does it mean for the college to have apprentices that come back?
I mean, that's obviously what we strive to, is to have our students kind of come back and enjoy their time that they have when they come to the college. So it's huge, right? We hope to see each one of our students be able to come back for all 4 years of the curriculum. That's what we'd like to see. There's certain cases where that might not be possible just because there might not be classes offered in the timing that they're looking to be able to complete. But for the most part, we seem to get most of our students to come back and complete through here, which we're happy for.
Oh, definitely. I bet you are.
Yeah.
The school life compared to the work life, there's the practicality of things, and then there's the application of things in the real world. Brady, maybe you could kind of speak to what is it different, or is what the college teaches you, is it what you need when you get out into the field?
I mean, like, they teach you the theory end of it, but they have all these fancy training boards and stuff that they can add bugs into and whatnot. So you kind of know what's going on. But I mean, from what they have to like what we deal with on a daily, like dealership to dealership kind of all has their own ways of doing things. So it's a little bit different, but the technical theory is still there.
Would you say that the equipment that they train you on here at the college is beneficial to what you would have in the field?
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Coulter, there is another part to why we're here today.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about skills. Have you competed in skills before?
I have, yeah, one time last year.
Okay. What was the experience like?
It was good. I definitely learned a lot of stuff. I experienced things that I've never seen before, so it helped me figure some things out about that, and I've been able to apply it out in the real world at work too.
So is it a matter of a different set of challenges, or are they exposing you to problems that you just hadn't seen before?
Yeah, I mean, there was just there was like one thing that I haven't dealt with just because I'm not really, I don't really focus on truck work. I'm more on the dirt side of things and pavement side of things, so I didn't really touch ABS, and we went through a bunch of ABS stuff up there, so that helped me be able to learn a little bit more about ABS.
Okay, pretend I don't know what ABS is, because I don't. What is ABS?
It's basically a safety system that was implemented into trucks. It's when you're, it applies and releases your brakes so that your tires don't skid.
Now, key in training for skills and helping students go to this level of competition, what does that take? Like, how many hours extra are these guys putting in to do that?
Typically, Coulter and I work anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a week, depending on the weeks and what we are doing leading up to the competition. So we started pretty early this year, and we were doing 2 hours a week. And maybe as we get a little bit closer to the competition now, we might have a day in the shop, and then we might do an evening where we do. We usually meet at Tim Hortons or a coffee and kind of go over some other stuff that we kind of would look at, and then from that I build an extra training or things that we think we might want to still do in the shop to go through and support them. A lot of it's how to read through some of the documentation when you get there as well, and some of the finite things that you might be able to pick up on to get little extra marks out of it, things to do with safety and procedural stuff when we get there.
So you sort of have another set of eyes on you when you're going to these skills competitions. What is the level of adjudication and the judging that's going on? Who are the people that are judging you? Are they other instructors, or are they elites within the industry?
Yeah, I mean, they can be anyone. Like, it can be like alumni, from skills. Like if I did like all my 4 years of skills and stuff, you can go up there and you can be a judge. There's lots of instructors from other like training institutions that are judges, and it's kind of they just kind of go around and pick people. Like there's some guys from Finning. There's some guys that bring whoever bring the trucks in. They'll judge too. It's kind of all over the place.
Maybe if we could kind of understand the equipment that we're talking about, these are all heavy duty trucks, or is it other equipment like backhoes and that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
or?
it can be anything in our realm. So it can be on highway tractor, truck trailer units. It can be off-road equipment. They do drivetrain, so that can be differentials, transmissions, tracks, wheels, bogies. Basically, it's anything inside of that that is inside of our curriculum. So anywhere from off-road equipment to on-road equipment, it's all in there. And that's why it's tough. Coulter being last year, he was just completed his first year, and he hadn't seen really at that point, except for at work, any of the off-road training part of it. So you really kind of got to look, or the on-road side of it, when we looked at things like drivetrain for differentials and drive shafts, drivetrain angularity, stuff like that we would train over. He hadn't had any experience in that stuff that we see in second, third, and fourth year. So those are things that we started working on or training through. So when he got up to the competition, he had the ability to hopefully complete or go through those stations.
Coulter, how nerve-wracking was it?
It's pretty nerve-wracking. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Brady, you've done skills as well, right?
No,
No? Is this your first time?
I'm not going.
You're not going? Oh, okay. You're just here to talk about the experience of being a journeyman and going through that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Teach him-
Coulter's journeyman, so
Yeah, teach him at work.
you teach him at work.
Oh,
Yeah, so,
okay.
so he's my teacher here.
And you're the
Keon's my
teacher in the
teacher here, and
field.
Brady's my
So I
teacher at
spend-
work, basically.
Try and teach him as much as I can, and then kind of goes back and forth.
Do you think having that relationship of working together, does that help? For him to be able to like ask you questions, maybe be more comfortable in the field to,
Oh, yeah,
to go
for
through
sure.
things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always try and give him things that are kind of unorthodox. And then, I mean, like, if the Keon and Coulter do something here, maybe I can take him out and show him it, kind of help him out that way. So it's more, you get a little bit more hands-on, maybe actually ripping it apart, besides just trying to, like, find out a gear reduction or something like that.
How did you guys, I'm going to throw this out to all you guys. How did you guys ever decide that this is what you wanted to do? Like, did you grow up in working with this kind of equipment, or was it just something that really fascinated you?
My dad's a mechanic, a millwright mechanic, so, but my mom said when I was a kid, they had to cut the cords off of drills and stuff because I figured out how to plug them in, and I was wrecking the walls and whatnot, so. But, and then it just started when I was in junior high. We had a lawnmower, and Dad said, take it apart, and I guess here I am now.
So the idea of taking something apart, figuring out how it works, and then putting it back together is kind of your jam? Yeah.
For sure.
Have you had something that you went, this is I don't know how I took this apart, and I don't know how I'm going to put it back together?
Almost every day. But we have all sorts of literature that you need, step-by-step stuff. So as long as you can read the questions and follow, which guys kind of have a hard time doing, is follow instructions, you'll make it through.
Yeah. Kean, how did you get involved, not only in the heavy equipment aspect, but deciding, oh, I want to teach other people how to do this?
Well, I started off really as a kid. I used to race dirt bikes, and so repairing my dirt bike to get it ready to go between races was where I started to do mechanical work. That led to, eventually working at a lake in Jasper, Alberta, where I started working on tour boats, or helping work on tour boats. And that led me into wanting to be an apprentice. From there, I ended up at a dealership in Edmonton, and right from there all the way down to doing oil field work in Medicine Hat. That's how I ended up in Medicine Hat out of Edmonton. And as I was doing that, and the college was starting to open up and get their trade started, I really enjoyed working with all the people, right, training my apprentices throughout the years. So I thought, well, this is something I think I'd like to be able to do. So I put my hat into the thing there, and managed to be able to get a job here at the college, and I've been here for just about 18 years now. So
Wow.
yeah.
How about you?
Probably my dad.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was. He's a lifelong tradesman, and same with my grandpa and all that. And I'm into the dirt bikes too. And then when I got my truck, my dad wasn't fixing it by himself, so I was out there, and I always wanted to be wrenching on stuff. So
What is the physical demand of the kind of work you do? I think people don't understand that, it can be pulling wrench all day is not an easy thing. It's hard on the hands, hard on the back. How do you cope with that?
just use your brakes. That, or I don't know. It's because sometimes it is hard, but especially when you're busting 16-hour days for a week straight and all that stuff. But you find your time, right? And usually employers are pretty flexible on your days off and all that stuff because they know how valuable you are, right? So usually it's pretty good.
I would imagine there's the love of fixing doesn't stop when the work day is done, though, that as you must have hobbies that involve taking stuff apart and putting it back together too.
Yeah, like if I'm on the weekends, I don't want to do, like I really don't want to do anything other than wrench on stuff. Or I'll be like I can't sit around, none of that. I want to be working on something. Like I really don't find joy in anything else.
I can understand that. A very quick story. Our next door neighbor, he worked as a mechanic at a dealership in Regina, and his hobby on the weekends is racing cars. So he just go from one car to all day at work to the car at home in the shop.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's, that's a standard mechanics thought process for the most part. Most of us have other little projects at home that we are always tinkering with or doing something with for sure.
Brady, maybe you could touch a little bit about the importance of the employer and your ability to be able to come back to school and then go back to work. The ability for them to let you do they let you do that, or do you have to apply to do it? How does that work?
You usually got to get permission from them to go back, but once you're in the program, if you don't come back almost yearly, the tradespeople, they start climbing up your tree. Why aren't you going back to school? Why aren't you going back to school? And you can get kicked out if you don't go back.
So there is a bit of a push or encouragement for you to continue to go through the whole apprentice process.
Absolutely.
And Coulter, with going to skills competition, how does that change your relationship with your employer? Obviously, you're putting in extra hours and extra time off that you need to do this. How have they been for that?
They're always good. Like I said, my employers really have a lot of trust in me and a lot of confidence, so they're not really worried about me going and doing it. Like it benefits both of us, right? Because it's extra training. So
I would imagine too that when you go to these skills competitions and you meet the other guys that are working at an elite level, if there's a problem, if there's a bug, if there's something that you can't figure out, you've met somebody that's like, oh, well, we use that a lot in my industry. You can sort of network and find people that you can bounce ideas off of.
I mean, usually you're kind of out by yourself in the skills comp. Usually it's kind of a one-man thing,
But afterwards?
Yeah, well, and I guess maybe I'll just go to that. And the people that you meet there are absolutely networking people. So you might meet somebody from Finning, and so if you were working on a CAT piece of equipment and you were stuck, as they were working on something, he'd be able to maybe get a hold of somebody from Finning, and they would help and support him for sure. Or they'd reach out to one of the people maybe in industry that maybe they were able to meet at one of the competitions. That's definitely a possibility for sure. A lot of our industry members that are at the competition that are judging are more than open to helping or supporting, right, our students that are going through the skills competition, not just at the competition, but later on when they go back to work and whatever they're doing.
How excited are you to go up in May?
I mean, I'm pretty excited, but I'm also stressed out.
How are you going to deal with that? You just put your head down and go, or?
Yeah, usually I just relax a couple nights before, and then when I get there, it's just, you just got to do it, right? Usually I don't let it affect me once I'm there, but it's just the mind game before you get there, right?
So like any elite athlete, you have to put in the focus.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you guys, I really want to say thank you for taking some time to talk to us on the porch. It is fascinating to me that there are people in this world that can look at something as big as this truck and know everything that is on it and how it works. And all I worry about is staying out of its way. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.